What's going on, YouTube? Once again, it's Nostalgia Boy, and I'm hitting you guys with another jersey review. The jersey we're going to be reviewing is none other than your 1995 NBA Rising Stars Jason Kidd All-Star Game jersey. And with me finally showing this jersey, I have shown you guys the entire 1995 NBA All-Star Game weekend jerseys. These ones are from the main game, and these two are from the Rising Stars game. I just want to knock it out. Yes, Mitchell and Ness did make this jersey. They made this jersey, and they made this one as well. The white team from the Rising Stars is the only jersey they did not make. This is actually my favorite out of the entire weekend. I just find it really dope. I love the colors and the scheme for it. But these are still very dope jerseys. When it comes to Mitchell and Ness, they made Eddie Jones. Of course, he was on the Lakers at that time. It was a USA production. It is a very rare jersey, very hard to find. I was fortunate enough, I got a 48 in my hands. I've seen a 44 and a 46 as well. My main issue with the Eddie Jones, the USA run, which was constructed better than these two that Mitchell and Ness had to offer because they were China runs, had good mesh, overall the fonts were good, screen printing for the screen printed details, but the neck hole was just too crazy, too big, and I really didn't like it. Now maybe if I would have had the size 44, I would have been okay with it because it's a smaller cut, but the 48, the neck hole was just way too big. Now, when it comes to these two that Mitchell and Ness made, the only player they made for the West is Thunder Dan Marley. This is actually Charles Barkley. And then when it comes to the East, they made Shaq and Pippen. When these were more readily available, Shaq was the most common that you could find. Pippen was on the rare scale, but at this point, it's hard to find these jerseys than it was like 6, 7, 8 years ago. This is a Grant Hill that I had done. Crazy part is Jason Kidd, Grant Hill were co-rookie of the year during this season, and he played in the main game, and he played in the Rising Stars game. I owned these three. I had let these go because I knew this one I had let go. I had Thunder Dan, I let it go a while ago. But I had this one and this one at the same time, and I sold them off because I knew that TruCustom had these 4 jerseys coming up in prints that he was going to make. So I got them because overall better construction, better jersey mesh, and because I could really get the players that I wanted to have on the jersey. So with all that being said, let's get back to this beauty right here. One of the reasons I love the 95, because you get stitching and you get, that screen printed details. Same thing with this. 35, NBA, All-Star, all that stitch, but the rest of the stuff that you see is screen printed details. They did the same thing in 96. I believe both jerseys are very niche, and that's why people love them so much, because they didn't continue on, but I love that they did them, and I love the fact that they have both stitching and screen printed on the jerseys. I also like the colorway. It is a great contrast between these two, by adding the green in with the jersey. So you got that green body, then you have the black, orange, and purple trim for the collar and the shoulder area. It even follows down to the side panels. So you have the purple and orange ribbon on both sides of the black insert right here. On both sides, as I mentioned. You have Mavericks and the number 5 in 3 layers of twill. So you have white on purple, purple on orange stitched onto the jersey. And then TruCustom did a really good job with the screen printed drop shadow stars. Of course, TruCustom jock tag, turn it around, Kidd, in 1 layer of white twill, slight arch, and then once again you have 3 layers of twill on back for the 5 on back of the jersey. So now that I've told you all the information, let's get a better look. There goes the Jerry logo, collar, trim, side panel, that dope Mavericks word font, front 5. Turn it around. And there you have it. Finally showed you guys the entire 1995 NBA All-Star Game weekend. It is my favorite set of jerseys that were worn for both games during the All-Star Game weekend. That's just my opinion. There really isn't too many. There's some in the 2000s that come close, but to me, this will always be number one in my book. I know you guys might say 96. In the Rising Stars game in 96, the players actually just wore their jerseys. And I believe that was the cause of the next however many All-Star games where they were just wearing their jerseys with patches on it. So don't try it. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed the jersey of choice. Once again, that is your 1995 NBA Rising Stars Jason Kidd All-Star Game jersey. And with that being said, I'm out.